Hey guys, so today you are going to learn something which is basically new. I haven't told anyone this, but this is basically how you can make folds realistically. So I hope you guys will enjoy this class. So starting with the sketch has already been drawn by me, and basically it's just a close-up feature of the sketch first. And so many people have asked me how you drawn this so realistically, so I'll just draw this again a little bit, and so that will be helpful for you guys to actually know how it is done, and that's it. So yeah, let's start. Basically, what app that I'm using is people is asking me a lot. See, I am an illustrator who is largely dependent upon Adobe. So I love Adobe softwares. I mostly use Adobe Illustrator and I mostly use Adobe Photoshop. But right now in iPad, I'm more comfortable in Adobe, as well as there's another app called Ibis Paint. You guys should try. It's really good actually. So all the shading part that I'm doing is either on Ibis Paint or in Procreate, but I'm still adjusting to Procreate. I'm not able to adjust it quite well because of the problem that maybe I'm more comfortable in vector illustration, that is in Adobe, and that's why I'm not comfortable in pixels. Maybe that is why. So we'll start with the shading part. Now what you have to do in shading, so if you want to make something like these kinds of folds like you're seeing right now, you have to use the darkest color. Like suppose this is the red, right? So you have to choose maroon, the darkest maroon, and then what you have to do is you have to make a triangle. Like how you're going to make a triangle, like this, and then you have to make a triangle. This. See, so did you make a triangle now? You did. Now make a triangle. And I don't like this dropping feature. I like to draw it myself rather than dropping the colors. It's like, I don't think so it's good. So because I think that each stroke should be drawn, then use the lightest color to adjust it and make it like a precise kind of a this thing. Yeah, now since you have drawn this, like what is the next step that you're going to do is basically this light thing that is coming, right? This is the main thing. See how we can draw this realistically. You have to always imagine that the light is falling into your face. Suppose this is the model, the light is falling on her face, so accordingly you have to draw the details. So if you're thinking that if there is a shade falling here, if there is a shade being created, that means this will be the lighter part. Obviously this is where the light is falling, that's why here the shade is appearing. So you have to keep that in mind, and even if you're applying this, try to go for the lighter layer, so that and draw it here. You draw, and then once you're drawn, then you can adjust it by using the color which is there, and just make it like very very thin line actually. You don't need it here because obviously there is shades here, but try to be more focused here and make it a simple light, and then use the white light. I always recommend white light because white light is something which I don't prefer luminous. There is another brush in Procreate that luminous is there to enhance white. I don't think that is necessary. You can actually do it with white because you don't have to do luminescence just to make it like shinier, because all my sketches that I've done before, it was done in Ibis Paint or either in Photoshop, and it turned out to be just fine. So I think even if there is no luminescence kind of brushes, it's still fine. You can actually make a shade. Now since you have saw this, now it's becoming a real kind of now just make this a lightest one actually, and then this opacity will then sorry, that's a mistake, like this, Yes, and darker one. You cannot always use the lighter one, obviously, so the darker one, stroke. And obviously you have to make something which is like very light. Now increase the this thing, increase the brush ratio, and then decrease the opacity because you are going to draw something here. Always remember. Now more opacity, but you have to also decrease the size of the brush. It does take a lot of time because obviously it is a hard work and you have to like achieve that kind of a particular shade, so they definitely it will take some time to get adjusted to it. So I don't necessarily feel that you should be, but Procreate is really a good app, really a good app actually. So now this is here. Now you can basically see how the light should fall. So I have already told you that light should fall. If my light is here in this picture, the light is falling in the center. Now if the light is falling in the center, then what is this light over here doing? So this light shouldn't be there. Exactly, and that's what we are going to do. We are going to remove this light and we are going to blend it like something in which this light should not be there, and voila, it's done. And see how the fold is made. That's how these folds are given, and that's how these folds should be. Many of these people, many of my other illustrators, they ask me how did you make folds so realistically, and this is how the folds are done. Always you should keep this in your mind, that you know that where the light is falling, the light can be falling on the center, can be falling on the sides. If the light is falling from the sides, imagine how the light will fall. So if the light is falling from here, there will be no shadow here, there will be shadow here. So accordingly you have to do it. If you're not doing accordingly, then obviously your sketch will not be realistic enough. So here, that's why I prefer mostly in center, that because I can shade it here, over here, and like that. So yeah, that's it actually. I hope you guys enjoy this class, and I hope to teach you guys more. But this is basically a zoom view of how I drew her in this beautiful Dolce & Gabbana. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a lovely day.